All right. Thank you.
This is the Discover Seward County podcast, where we explore the past, present, and future of Seward County and the people who make it great. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Discover Seward County. Here with Pat and JJ as normal. We've got a great show for you today. We have Lance Larsen from the Great Cordova Pigeon Races. Do you guys have any personal experience with the pigeon races? I had no idea.
I haven't heard of this either.
I love it. And I have a great respect for Lance Larsen.
I had a great conversation with Lance. He's a great guy.
Do you put a pigeon into the race? Maybe put a few bucks on it?
No, I don't enter that race. No, I'm busy hauling Mexican yard art up from Kansas.
So do you have what is it from your perspective? What is the Great Cordova Pigeon Race?
Oh, I love it because everybody brings and heck, we didn't even really know that people still raised or kept pigeons. And it's a wonderful, wonderful exercise and it's also a great involvement for the youth of the community. Youth, all ages can join in on that, and they do, and it's nifty.
Yeah, I learned a lot. It sounds like just like a citywide block party, which just sounds really awesome. So,
and that's when I was doing some research a few years ago. That was the wonderful part about exploring Seward County is what each little community, what their like is, and what they happen to have a passion for, and their stories. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Speaking of little communities, we also have Preston Stuhr from the Utica Community Foundation. They're cooking up something to try to improve their community a little bit, which is, I'm curious, Pat, in the time that you've been around Seward, and JJ too, even, like the smaller communities, the trend nationally is obvious, right? Those communities are getting smaller and smaller. It seems like the communities around Seward County are trying very hard to not disappear. They're trying very hard to keep themselves alive. And I'm just curious what your perspective on that, what you've seen and the folks from the littler communities and how they're working so hard to keep their communities vibrant.
I think that's very true. And you can really see it when you go into the town, like over in Utica, Brent Leah's store over there, Old Cottonwood, that's really established. Fellhofer's is a great story. And they are known throughout the Midwest and sometimes even nationally for resources. And then you go down to Cordova and their pigeon race. It's wonderful that they keep these traditions going. And Lance Larsen keeps the little bank going down there. And they have a great auction company down there. And then you come around to Pleasantdale. And they're trying to stay strong. Milford is growing. Milford's a pleasant town to drive through. And then you go up to Beaver Crossing and Staplehurst, and you just got to love them. So, yeah.
Great.
I think it's actually inspirational in a way, like to have that kind of passion and putting in your time, energy, money to keep your camp, to keep your tribe, to keep your community afloat. That's inspirational to me. That's one of the reasons why I want to do this podcast, to find some of those stories and figure out, hey, who has an interesting story to tell that could educate Seward County and maybe spread some of that passion, you know?
Good man. And then lastly, which will actually probably be first, is just some coverage of us out and about on the 4th of July. What are you guys looking forward to for tomorrow?
What about you, Pat? You got a big day tomorrow too, huh?
Yeah, it's over at Liberty House. We've got our yard full. We've got our first tent up and more are coming. And then when I came over here this morning, I noticed the barricades are half up here and there, and then we're getting...
That got me excited as well.
That's we're getting serious now. Yes.
As I start seeing some of that stuff go up, after like the conversations that we've been able to have with like the mayor and the city admin and the fire guys, it makes me even more appreciative of all of the logistics that go on behind the scenes to make the thing happen. So it's just another thank you to everybody out there, all the volunteers and people making it happen. So, we're just going to chat a little bit. What do you guys, what's your favorite? Maybe favorite's not even the right word. What's a really strong 4th of July memory you have?
The fireworks every time.
Yeah, every time.
I think I'm a little nervous though because it's supposed to rain tomorrow night, isn't it?
I think it's
something like
up.
that.
I think that's last I looked. But the forecast had cleared up.
Do you know the official rule? If they cancel the fireworks, it's the next day, right?
I think so.
Something like that.
Pat, do you know?
I'm not sure. One year it did rain, and they had to postpone it, and they did for one night, and then it came through. But I'm confident that the skies will part and it will go on.
Our professional meteorologist right here for 4th of July.
There we go.
Whatever Pat says goes.
So we just learned is Pat can control the weather.
Yeah, no, not really.
You thought it was a conspiracy theorist.
No.
Turns out
it's just
the
Pat.
whole time. Speaking of conspiracy theories, so episode 1,
yes,
2,000 views. Episode 2, about almost 50,000 because of the time capsule. Episode 3, 2,000. And some of those comments we saw were a lot of what would we call the dead internet theory.
Absolutely.
Dead internet theory, which is pretty much like all of these AI bots. And like, I think they're boomers. I think they're older people. But apparently people don't.
Oh, heck, us boomers haven't even found it.
You look too gorgeous to be a
Oh,
boomer.
my
You are
goodness.
Gen X.
Oh, you're a
me.
good boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Just like this guy. But... But what was I saying?
You're talking about dead internet.
Dead internet, yeah. But yeah, apparently people don't realize that you can skip ahead in the video and there's more content. So if you're looking specifically for the time capsule, you can skip because it's probably at the end of the episode.
Little red progress line at the bottom of the video.
It's a new concept for a lot of people. I guess
so.
But it's
First rule of the internet. Do you know what it is?
Tell me, please.
Don't read the comments.
There we go.
I'm sitting there in the middle of the night.
Kind of learned that. Yeah.
This'll show him. This'll tell him.
Well, genuinely though, it's a good conversation because how humans we have not developed the ability to like separate that and like say like, oh well, most of this content that I'm reading online isn't real. And I even I was reading a story yesterday about now there's influencers that are their accounts are popping up. They're getting crazy amount of like engagement and they're completely fake.
Great.
It's completely AI.
That's what we need.
And so like we already did this with social media where we acted like it's everybody else's life is better than ours when they're just cropping out the sadness.
Well, now
it's not even real.
Where else can you literally say whatever you want? Like whatever you want and get away with it. Mm-hmm. We thought that was a good idea.
And that brings a little hesitancy. And especially some of us that are over, shall we say, the 60 line? Shall we say that? We're still back in the Facebook era. So getting on a podcast is a big thing.
Right.
It's almost scary. And we are now just starting to realize that you can't believe a lot. So we'll establish our validity and our reputation, and we'll keep working on this.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you ever fallen for like some prince in Africa that needs money and you need to send him money?
Never.
Have you ever fallen for that?
I could start my own little line there.
Pat is in distress at the Liberty House. Please send $250 through PayPal.
Pat needs money for more Mexican yard art.
Yes.
More $75 turtles.
There we go.
Well, in the scams like have gotten even more. It's not even as outlandish as that. Now did you guys see a couple weeks ago the mass text scam that went through?
Yes, I got one of those.
For like it was for like
the DMVs to hit me up at like 2 a.m.
The DMV is texting saying that like you have an unpaid parking ticket or an unpaid rate. So it's just like,
I'm pretty sure parking downtown's free. But.
Yeah. Well, and I'm pretty sure the DMV won't text me at 2 a.m.
Yes. Yeah. I did. I got one of those.
I think a lot of people did.
But like I said, we'll have to all learn, all stages of us will have to learn and learn that everything on there is not true.
Most, honestly. I think we're getting to the point where at least 50, and I think that's a conservative estimate, 50% of what you're going to see online is not real.
Right.
And that's crazy, which is
And
why
it is. It's disturbing. It makes you uneasy.
it does, and we have to because it has an outsized influence on everything, right? We still are in this. It moved so quickly from this is I'm connected with my people, my friends, to now all of a sudden these platforms have become monetized. They will do whatever they have to do to make a buck. I almost said something much more crass there. I'm glad I didn't. I pulled up. But they will do whatever they have to say to monetize their own platforms, and it up to and including just out and out lies and just fake. It's crazy, which is why I like what we're doing here, because this is let's talk about our community. Let's talk about the people we can actually interact with.
My dad thinks everything on Facebook's real, so it must be real then, right? Right?
Well, see, we start out that way. We do. We think and we go. And then when we find out not, we go, ew. Yeah.
Right. Well, and it's a generational difference, right?
Certainly.
Because there was a generation that grew up with media that you could trust.
Yes.
Right? Things didn't make it onto the news or into a newspaper unless it was verified and it was, run through sources. Whereas now my generation and your generation definitely has grown up in an environment where you have to assume everything is wrong.
Right.
Everything you read is fake.
It's a guessing game.
It really is. And so that ability to shift is tough. It's to shift from you can trust all the media, which is what your generation grew up with, to now I can't trust anything.
Exactly.
How do you make that shift? That's very hard.
And how in the whole wide world do you regulate? How do you regulate or even monitor? And so maybe we can make a little bit of difference here.
Yeah, I agree.
By being local, and everybody kind of knows. Yeah.
Right. What are you guys looking forward to for tomorrow?
We are going to do a little street interview, so that's going to be exciting. You guys will see that in a little bit.
If you were one of our victims, thank you.
Yes, we appreciate all the help.
That's what has always, when I moved to Seward, I'll never forget that first year, because we didn't realize what goes on here on the 4th of July. And it's just, like you said, Jay, it's inspirational. It really is. And it's traditional. And there is not one great big thing. It's all of it put together.
I had the exact same experience. The first year we came, all we knew was there's a huge 4th of July thing in Seward. The whole idea of the scale was completely lost on us. Mm-hmm. This was before we had kids, so it was just us. But my wife and we came in, and it's you just there's cars and people literally everywhere.
You can't drive on half the streets.
No, it's a sea of human beings, and it's just mind-boggling to see. So
it certainly is. And of course, every once in a while, we have to be nice to Clark and tell him thanks for keeping it going for 50 years. And so,
thanks, Clark.
Yeah. and that committee, that group of volunteers that keep on keeping on.
It's a crazy undertaking, for sure.
It's pretty cool. So, and then doing research again too, Seward's just is kind of magical, and it is the forerunner of the celebrations. But it's cool that 150 years ago, the people here felt thankful enough to celebrate Independence Day and to celebrate that we're here in Nebraska. And Milford and Beaver Crossing, and a lot of them have very serious 4th of July celebrations. Mm-hmm. And so this one has risen to the top. But it really portrays how thankful folks are for the good life here in Nebraska.
Absolutely. Can I
What'd you say?
I'm about to stand up and start applauding you. That was awesome. Nice.
Can I ask you guys a question? Does anybody know? Caitlin, you can answer this too. Just shout if you need to. Why, with fireworks stands, are gorillas the mascot of choice? This has bothered me for years.
That's just one.
I see lots of gorillas with fireworks.
When I want to go buy fireworks, the ape comes out in me, and I'm like, yeah, that's I envision myself as. So that's exactly, yeah, that's why.
You got any fireworks plans at the Liberty House?
Nope, I don't.
Okay.
No, but my mom and dad
light my money on fire too, and it's the same basic
60
experience.
years ago, when my mom and dad had a little tiny store up in northeast Nebraska, they would sell Marv's fireworks, and he's still that family is still selling fireworks. It's kind of cool. So
that's pretty cool.
You said you like fireworks. I am an admitted Grinch when it comes to fireworks. So win me over.
You're calling the cops past 1 a.m. I know your type.
This is honest to God.
We're like
one of the reasons I moved. We moved to the country.
What's those things that zoom up? Yeah, you're calling the cops over that. I'm sure you are.
1,000,000%. Win me over.
That's all right. We'll just go out in the country and blow stuff up.
You don't know where I live. Prove to me why it can convert me to the cult of fireworks. I'm kidding. Not a cult. I'm taking it seriously. Chill out, internet.
What? You're a man. You can blow stuff up legally one night for the year. What? That's like some Purge stuff. That's awesome.
So your question...
I'm not saying the Purge is awesome. I'm just saying like the one night of the year.
Good grief.
What, right?
We need to get, boys, for heaven's sake, settle down here now.
JJ's advocating for the Purge over here.
I'm saying it's a bad idea.
Also, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Today. Is that you?
I have to say, Josh, that usually all the little kids, and it used to be all the little boys, would love to have that one opportunity to light a firecracker.
Yeah.
So I find it kind of extreme that you don't like.
I think part of it was like where I grew up in the Southwest. It wasn't a big thing because it's a desert, right? Everything's dry and arid. So like,
could be,
voluntary fire isn't really like, it was never really a thing.
And I think too, from maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, the fireworks weren't quite so powerful.
That
and
could
they
be
weren't quite so extreme.
Yes, right.
And it was always
get like
little
PTSD or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And it was
celebrate the independence of your nation by blowing up a small part of it.
Out for heaven's sake. And it was a tradition. It was fun, and they got to do it.
Yeah.
One time. But it wasn't maybe so extreme as it is now.
Honest, I think it's just the expense. I'm way too practical.
Oh, yes.
To go spend
that
the money
I've
on
wondered.
it.
With all of them going around me every night for 5 nights, I go, where do they get the money?
Just throw your money in a barrel and burn it.
So, now.
Good tax dollars for the city, huh?
But it's that, here I am, a little old grandma, it's that fun of lighting that fire to that fuse.
Oh, they are fun. I'm not going to deny that some of it's fun. I just can't bring myself to spend the money on it.
Because my boys used to love the 4th of July and out on the driveway. But we always had just a few, a little bit. Tradition.
That's fun. My kids love the smoke bombs. They think those are fun.
Yeah.
They don't like the really loud ones.
Lame. No, it's...
So today, JJ has advocated for the Purge. He's called my children lame. And in an attempt to win me over to his side of an argument, he questioned my masculinity.
Sounds about right, yeah.
All right, let's get to the rest of the show.
Things are going well.
All right, on the topic of local lunatics, I found these 2 kids. Sir, what is your name? Where are you from?
Byron New Year. I'm from the big LA.
From California?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Have you heard of it before?
No. Where are you from?
California.
California. Okay. Have you guys ever been to Seward before?
No, this is my first time.
First time?
Yeah, first time. I'm a newbie.
I'm gonna give both you idiots $50, okay? And we'll see what you do with it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Here you go. Go.
Yay.
Go. Go.
Go. Free money, right? I'm walking inside. Antique gift store.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Full of old stuff and old people.
Shut up.
Oh, look at that little gnome guy. About your size.
Wait, what's this?
Can I help you guys?
Yeah, I'd like to buy this monkey wrench.
Okay. Do you know what a monkey wrench is?
I think it's that.
It's an alligator ranch.
It is.
Yeah.
Just another animal, I guess.
Now let me see. And what in the world are you going to do with these?
I don't know. Try fixing something.
I'm gonna start my dentistry business.
Well, they're gonna go to good use.
Are they good?
If not just good paperweights.
$17, please.
All right, here's $20.
All right, not a penny left.
All right, thank you.
Those are so pretty.
Hello. Can we buy these 5 honey sticks?
Sure.
Do we pay taxes?
Not on honey. No tax.
Under the table, we like that. What's this? $10? That's actually method, bro.
This episode of Discover Seward County is brought to you by us. We have so enjoyed so far bringing this content to you. And so we want to just ask you, our listeners and viewers, wonderful people who have watched this so far and come along on the start of this journey, to make sure that you're engaging with the podcast all the ways that you can, because we want to keep bringing this content to you. We want to keep sharing the stories of Seward County and highlighting all the great things that are happening here, and especially telling the stories of the people and seeing what other shenanigans Pat and JJ can get up to. But to do that, we really need your help. So we want to just talk a little bit about the ways that you can do that. First, and probably the most important, is subscribing to our YouTube channel. JJ, why does that matter? You're watching the YouTube analytics all the time.
Yes,
How
yes.
does that
I
help?
refresh it like every 2 seconds. I'm going
F5,
stir
F5,
crazy.
F5.
Exactly. It's the perfect way to get notified when we drop an episode every other Friday. It's a perfect way to stay in the loop as well, because we post on Instagram, Facebook, and sometimes YouTube as well, so you can get those notifications to catch up and see what's going on with us. And it's just a perfect way to keep up with what's going on here, regardless if you go to the website or our YouTube channel.
Yeah. For maybe our less technically inclined viewers, does it cost anything to subscribe to a YouTube channel?
You're not going to believe me when I say this, but it is absolutely free.
The low price of $0.
Exactly. When was the last time you got something for free?
Never.
Right.
Nothing valuable, at least.
Exactly.
Pat, would you have anything to add?
Josh, now,
Please.
okay, now, so that my friends and I can enjoy this, because I am a 110% believer in this podcast, and I'm not even too sure what a podcast is, but it is such a great way to share our information about the community that we live in and the state of Nebraska. So now, if I were going to tell my friends where to go, I would say go to discoverseward.com. I know that part. I've memorized that part.
You got it. Discover Seward.
Seward County.
You got it.
There we go.
.com.
Nailed it.
And that is our website. That's the name of our website.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you can go to the website. And then that also, then we have a spot on YouTube. And that's where folks mostly go.
Yeah, the two things will work together. So if you go to discoversewardcounty.com, You'll see all of the episodes will live there. And if you click on one of those, you're actually internet magic clicking on YouTube. So
Okay.
if nothing else, you can do it that way. And if you find your way onto YouTube, subscribing helps a ton.
And I didn't know that about that. If we subscribe to that, we're kind of helping support this
Absolutely.
and to keep it viable.
Absolutely. Yep. Subscribing is great. And for anybody who would want to take that support to a different level, we have a sponsorship called Friends of the Podcast, where you can financially, pledge and help support this endeavor. And I think probably if we get enough people, we'll give you some shout out on the air. And we would love to have you join us. We'd love to have you enjoy some of our great Discover Seward County swag, really solid t-shirts, got some hats. We'd love your support and we'd love your ideas and anything like that. So if we would just love to have you, we want to keep bringing this content to you. We're having a blast. We're meeting a lot of great people from around our county and beyond. And so we would love to be able to keep doing that. So we're asking for your support. So you can either subscribe, go visit our YouTube channel and subscribe, or visit discoversewardcounty.com and we'll see you there. All right. We are here and joined by the one and only Lance Larsen here from the Great Cordova Pigeon Races. Lance, thank you so much for taking the time. I was telling you before we started recording, I try to do research on stuff before I sit down for an interview, but when I saw that we were interviewing somebody from the Great Pigeon Race, I wanted to do no research because I wanted to go in blind and experience it. So tell me a little bit about what is the Great Cordova Pigeon Race?
It is an unusual catchphrase, isn't it? It's the hook we get people to take a second look at us.
It worked on me. You got me interested.
Yes. My dad actually came up with that. It was 1976. This will be our 50th year. So 1976, every town everywhere had a bicentennial celebration, and Cordova was no different. They planned bicentennial parade, all sorts of a weekend of fun. And he must have been on a committee for the parade, and he said anybody can get a flight of fighter jets or a fire truck or something to start their parade, but he knew a guy with homing pigeons. And so he had a float, had several crates of pigeons, and that was our first float through, started the parade. And then the next year he said, I'd like an excuse to have ice cream and cake with my neighbors. Let's have the Great Cordova Pigeon Race. And that's how it was born. Just an excuse to have a simple, fun day. Get together with your neighbors, let the kids play, have some entertainment, and most importantly, eat some ice cream and cake before you go home. So
perfect.
It's just a real simple, fun deal.
Very good. What's a typical day at the Great Pigeon Race look like?
Typical day. The last few years we've had a car show along with our pigeon race. So the car show, people register from 8 in the morning till noon. And then we have meal for people, anybody that comes. We have dinner, and then we have raffles and drawings and games in the park. We have entertainment, a little different entertainment every year in our community building, and it's usually over about 3 to 4 o'clock. So it's kind of a quick hitting deal. Our pigeons always fly about 1 to 1:15, and people, just like you asked, people are really interested. We always draw a huge crowd. Everybody comes to watch them open the pigeon crates and let them go. And we try to tell them to stand upwind, not downwind, because the pigeons, they fly. There's feathers flying everywhere. But everybody's always interested in the pigeons.
Yeah. Is it still the same person, the same family that's bringing the pigeons? Or
No.
How do you do that?
No. Over the years that we've had several main pigeon handlers or organizers. They've mostly come from they used to come from the Lincoln Racing Pigeon Club. I'm not sure what club they are now, but as one person has retired or gotten rid of their birds, they've given me a contact for the next year. And right now, we've always worked with people near Lincoln, outside of Lincoln, and they have racing pigeon clubs. They race these birds all year long and train them and breed them, and they're always willing to talk about the ins and outs of homing pigeons. And it's amazing. People are interested in that. It's quite a sport. But they give a little speech, and they let the kids help open the crates and let pigeons loose, and it's a good time.
That's great. What's something like unexpected that you've experienced? Because how long have you been sort of heading it up or sort of been out there as the spokesperson for it?
Probably. My dad passed away in 1993, and after that, I kind of took over the organizing of it. So it's been 30 some years now. Just they call me the head of it, but I rely on a lot of people to get it done. But funny things, we've always had different types of entertainment, from theatrical productions to music, to high school bands, to live music, magicians. Some of the entertainment's been really fun. Sometimes the weather's been blistering hot. Sometimes it's been rainy. But one year we had the pigeon people talk about how they raise pigeons, and they talked about the expensive birds and the breeding birds. It's like a racehorse. Mm-hmm. And they got done telling us about these tens of thousands of dollars homing pigeons, and then we went outside and we let them loose. Well, one of our local jokesters lived about 3 blocks away, and he could see them let them loose and circle, and then he fired off 3 shotgun blasts and away from them, just to make everybody jump. The pigeon people really jumped. They were counting their birds as they were going over. But he came back smiling, and he would never admit it. But I know who it was. That's probably the funniest thing I've ever had to happen.
Did you get those pigeon people back?
We got them back.
Were they done?
They did. No, they after a while they were really happy about it, so they got the joke.
Good. That's good. It's always good when you can see people take a joke a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things we've been talking a lot, obviously in the lead up to Seward's 4th, we've talked to a lot of people who are involved here in it. What kind of keeps coming up is like you said, right? The whole event is reliant on volunteers and people stepping up, and then what it means just to the community. So I'm wondering if you could tell me, what is the tradition of this? What has it meant to the community of Cordova?
I think a lot of it's really what I like to see is the younger kids have a good time. If they have good memories of home, they're liable to come back, and make their life there, build a house, buy a house. And I think it's happened. I think the kids love to let the pigeons out. They love to win raffle prizes. They love to see the cars and eat the ice cream, and just trying to build good memories. And that goes along with volunteers. The more people we get to volunteer, the more they bring their whole family, and they bring their neighbors and friends, and it takes a big group to make it go.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Do I understand this is the final year?
This is the final year. We're calling it our final flight, 50th. About 8 years ago, I sat down with a dedicated group that always helps put it on, and I did the math. I said, we've got 8 years to hit 50. I'd like to hit 50. That's a big milestone. And would you stay with me? And they all said yes. They thought about it a little bit, but it seems like a long time. But 8 years have gone by really fast. And in those years, I've tried to put out the word that, hey, when 50 hits, we need a new group. We need new blood, new ideas for this celebration to keep going. I haven't had anybody volunteer, but we're looking for somebody to come up with their own idea and their own celebration. They might do it at a different time of year. They might call it Cordova Days or Windmill Days, or they might stick with Pigeon Race. I don't know, but
the blueprint's there.
We're just the blueprint's here, and we're just trying to promote it that anybody can do this. We're just looking for the next generation to take it over.
That is awesome. How did you? That's hard, right? That sometimes it's hard for people to give up that tradition. It's a very forward-thinking thing of you to do.
I needed to find an exit strategy, if you will, for our celebration, because everything has a lifespan. I think any tradition has a lifespan, and 50 it's really out there. Seward's 4th of July, it'll go on forever. But other things do kind of fizzle out after a while. And while I don't think we've fizzled out, I think it's time for new ideas and a whole new group of people. And I think I'm excited to see what will happen. Maybe it'll take a year to get somebody fired up, but I think it'll happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've tried to build a little bank account for the community club, and so there's money for somebody to start with ideas, and they won't be starting from scratch. So that's all right. I think it'll work.
Yeah, that's great. What a forward and what a way to recruit other interest in the community, right? To get other people involved, so that
that's what it
just
takes.
Become rote, right?
Yes.
Like it becomes fresh. I think that's awesome. Well, what would you like folks to know about this year? About if they want to come up and check out last? We've
got an exciting day. Again, we'll start about 8:00 with car show registration. We'll end about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. It's not something you have to stay till midnight to get through all. But we have a fantastic car show. I'm thinking we're going to have a larger number of cars than usual. We've got 2 food trucks coming. We've got Jill's Sweet Shop. They're out of Geneva, Nebraska. And we've got A1 Southern Cooking out of Utica. Ooh. So people can have their choice, get what they want for dinner. The community building will be open, air-conditioned seating for eating. We've got Forest Moon Coffee Trailer and Sweet Bees Lemonade Trailer coming for choice of drinks. And we've got Blended Distilling out of Waco, York area. And they're going to give out samples, and people can buy their distilled products to take home. So we tried to highlight some local businesses. Yeah. Give people a choice. And then we've got a cornhole tournament that'll be going. People can call me for more information on that. We'll have T-shirts and hats for sale for our final pigeon race. And then my entertainment is still getting back to me. I don't have anything to announce today, but I think if things work out, we'll have some real fun entertainment.
Great.
So it'll be a good day.
Excellent. Last question I have for you is what has it meant to you personally to be, in charge of this all these years and to carry on your dad's tradition and all of that?
It's been fun to carry it on. For my whole family, and fun to work with the community. I just like to say it doesn't. We always wanted to have something. It was designed to be a simple day that not a lot of people had to work hours and hours to do. Didn't cost anybody very much. No admission. Free will offering for dinner. This year is a little different, but didn't cost anybody much. The kids could have a great time, and people could just sit down with their neighbor and catch up.
That's great.
Yeah, build community.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on whatever comes next. And thank you for your service for all those years, putting it on for folks.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks.
All right, you bet.
Taking a short break to talk to any business owners out there who might happen to see this. This podcast has been a lot of fun so far, but beyond being fun and beyond being content that we're happy to put out there, we also have an opportunity to share with any business owners who are connected to Seward County in any way. So far, in the 3 episodes that we've launched, we have over 30,000 unique views and over 50,000 total views at the time of recording. And we are so happy to be reaching people in Seward County and beyond. We're reaching a very wide audience, and this presents a really unique opportunity to get in on the ground floor as an advertiser. So if you have a business that you need to reach people in Seward County or beyond, we've got some real opportunities for you. Pat, you're a small business owner. What would it mean to you to be able to reach a whole bunch of people in Seward County, knowing, and even beyond, because you have business from all over the place?
Mm-hmm. I think it's just a great opportunity for everybody, small business, any activity, something that's going on, events, because it's a new way, and it's getting established, and it's really look at how short of a time we've been doing this, and it's really getting established, and it's really communicating with our community and the world.
Right. And we are across demographics, we're across age groups, so we really have a unique opportunity out there for any business owners. At this point, the odds are if you have a demographic you're trying to reach, we're reaching them. So we would love to have you as a partner. You would get a shout out on the podcast at certain tiers. You get mentioned on our website, which is getting traffic, mentioned in show notes. All kinds of different opportunities are out there. So we would love to hear from you. If you're interested, if you have a small business or a large business or medium business, whatever it is, and you're looking to reach the same people we're reaching, we would love to hear from you so that we can keep bringing this content to people all over the place. If you're interested, just reach out to us. You can email us at podcast@discoversewardcounty.com, and we'll get in touch with you right away.
Welcome back, boys and girls. Thanks for joining us on this episode so far. I'm here with Mr. Preston Stuhr. Preston, before we get into anything, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, I'm Preston Stuhr. I'm originally from Utica, Nebraska. My family's been there a long time, and they are... My grandparents were very active in the community. My parents are active. Went to Centennial High School, graduated in 2017. Then went on to the university in Lincoln and worked for the football team for 5 years, and still living there, but work in Seward, but find my way back in Utica a lot,
Occasionally. Yeah.
volunteering and doing all kinds of stuff.
So I have heard through the grapevine that grew up in Utica, Centennial, like you said, went to college, but usually trend is once a kid goes to the big city, and big city as in Lincoln or Omaha, they're gone for good.
Right.
Rarely do you see them come back to the community and even support it like what you're doing. Tell me your vision behind that. Why do you do it in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it was my grandparents watching how active they were in the community and volunteering, and kind of just always wanting to be like that.
Absolutely.
I think there's just a lot of good momentum in Utica too, and it is normally that way, but I'd say Utica's a little different right now. There's a lot of people that want to move back.
For sure.
And there's a lot of positive movement going there.
That's good. That's awesome. So I was going to ask you too, what you guys have a foundation, or what is that officially called?
Yep. So it's the Utica Community Foundation, and we're actually underneath Seward County Bridges, which a lot of nonprofits in the county are. Mm-hmm. But it was started about 8 years ago, and my grandparents were on that as well, a key part of getting it started. And so, yeah, I've kind of found my way on that board, and I'm now the president of it. And yeah, we just look to make improvements in Utica, promote growth in Utica through different projects that we do.
So it sounds like it's one of those like bloodline type of things. Well, Graham and Gramps did it, so
Yep.
I kind of feel obligated in a way to.
Yep.
But I'm sure it's. What are some of the more enjoyable experiences for you when not only going back to the community, but like we've been talking about, supporting the community? What's some of your favorite parts of that aspect?
Yeah, I just think it's the people, being back around friends, family, and then getting to know a lot of the community that I didn't know just because of the age difference or whatever. And our foundation's a good mix of all those kinds of people. It's wide ranging in age, and we've got people that are from in town. We've got people that are from out in the county or the country that want to still support Utica, and yeah.
So I've only seen the render on Facebook, but talk to me about this playground. What's the vision around that? What was the inspiration? Tell me a little more about that.
Yep. So we've done quite a few projects in town, and it started off with Main Street, getting it all repaved and putting new lighting in and landscaping, and it looks really good. And we've kind of progressed. We've done a park shelter. We raised funds for a new ambulance. A couple other little things, but a lot of it was we kind of sat down at the beginning of the year and noticed we never really did anything that was directly for kids and youth.
Kids.
Now, some of that stuff indirectly supports the youth, but nothing that directly is for the youth. And so we started thinking about different things we could do, and our play structure in the main park in town was built in 1997, and
so a little outdated, huh?
Very outdated, and it's all the rubber coating in it is falling off, so it's a lot of rusty metal is there, and so we started thinking that that's kind of what we should go for this year.
I do appreciate that. Obviously, young adult and above, it's important to keep that community aspect, but especially the kids. And when we had the Cordova guy in here the other day, he was talking about how you want to make those memories. You want to make a lasting impact for these kids in the small town, because who knows, maybe one day they'll come back and
Absolutely
start supporting it themselves, just like you did.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So tell me, what are some future projects we could see around Utica or even beyond? What are some just brainstorming ideas you guys got?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't get too far down the road, because typically what we've done is we do a lot of projects that we know we can get done right away, because we're raising money normally through our Taiwan On fundraiser that happens once a year. And we like to get stuff done immediately. We don't like to kick the can down the road. And so we haven't done anything huge. I know there's been talks of a new pool in town at some point, maybe doing something with the ball fields, and we'll see if we can ever play a role in that. But that's nothing that we take on so far as our I guess as being the leader on those projects. We try to do stuff where we're raising money and we're seeing results right away.
Well, it sounds like if you're between the age of 5 and 16, Utica's the place to be right now, right?
We're trying to make it that way.
How about, so if you could put anything in Utica, anything, okay? There's no off limits. What would you put in Utica? You get one thing.
Man, I don't know.
Like
That's
a Chick-fil-A or something, or like a...
I mean, we don't have a bar or restaurant, so we could anything to eat. We just have the Spur, the gas station, which is good, but
I do. I'm a regular there.
it might not. Yeah, a restaurant might be a good start.
So there's a venture for anyone listening out there. Utica is in need of a bar/restaurant.
That's right.
Well, Preston, tell me, how specifically can people donate their money or time towards this cause?
So you can go to our Facebook page is the best place for all of our information, which I know is not ideal if you don't have Facebook, but just search Utica Community Foundation. We've got all kinds of posts about this project. We have a website right now for the Taiwan On fundraiser where you can buy tickets. If you can't make it, there's a place to bid on items. There's a place to give funds directly. Another thing that we're doing is we're going to do the labor for this project.
Wow.
So Crouch Recreation is the company we're working with, and they're very good about if you don't want to pay for the labor, which the labor in this project would have been $40,000.
Right.
We've got people that have the means necessary and the skills and tools to do this, so we're going to do that ourselves. So if that's a way that somebody wants to get involved, they can just reach out to us on our Facebook page as well. Just shoot us a message, and I think we're going to probably build it in the spring. We might do it in the fall, but it just depends on how grants come in and funds. So,
well, I do appreciate that as well. You guys I'm sure you could have the option to dish out that $40K to have somebody else do it, but you guys are having people in the community.
Yep.
Those individuals that really care about the space and Utica.
Yep.
Take time out of their day to put up that playground. That's
and
cool.
I think it's only about 2 days, I think, is what they're going to have it. And the company brings out 2 supervisors, and they'll tell us exactly how to install it. So it's not it should be pretty easy. And it's just trying to be good stewards of money. If there's ways that we can, I mean, we've got people in the community that have the skills, and like I said,
excellent.
So,
well, we will have the website, Facebook, all the other details in the description of this video, so you can go support Preston. Well, Preston, you got any final thoughts for us? Any final words for the people?
I just appreciate you guys having us on. Good things happening with Utica and the Utica Community Foundation. So excited to see where we keep going in the future with it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for coming in such short notice, and thank you for keeping the people of Seward County informed about the great town of Utica.
Thanks, Preston. Thank you.
This was episode 4 of Discover Seward County. Thank you so much for watching. A shout out to our sponsors. This episode was brought to you by the Seward County Visitors Bureau, Sweet Tea Marketing, Hughes Brothers, Union Bank and Trust, GBE, and PetSource. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.